Nice to see everybody. It's great to be introduced to the South African press, and on behalf of Mbokazi and Puso, things are going very well at the training camp. It's great to integrate them into the group, into the team. We're preparing for the season start next Saturday against Houston Dynamo. But so far the camp has been going well, and the team is progressing in a great way. Thank you.
Great. We're going to open this up to questions. Please hit the hand button to raise your hand if you have a question. We will start with the first hand raised, which is Joe Chats.
Hey. Joe Chats on Tap Sportsnet, Puso, Mbekezeli, Gregg, thank you so much. Gregg, with these two young players from South Africa, what was the process of identifying them and what made them so desirable for you guys in year two of this project?
I think the first thing is we're looking to strengthen our team. And
Yep.
One thing we looked at is areas to improve, and we identified center back as an area. And that's where, through scouting, through connections in South Africa, we were able to identify Mbokazi. And then we watched his games and watched what he was able to bring, and it was very exciting. Very exciting, and a player this age can play a leadership role with his team, can be playing for the national team. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing with Puso was, as we're figuring out, how players adapt and what they need, we thought it would be important to bring another South African to the club to help with the adaptation and for them to help each other. And we looked at the winger position. We looked at someone that could change the game with an exciting profile of 1v1 and attacking speed, and Puso fit that very well. So overall, happy with both of these signings and hope that they're going to continue to develop here at the club.
Thank you.
The next hand up, Valen Kirtlead. I will unmute you. Valen, are you still raised?
There we go. Can you hear me now? I'm sure you can.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dan. Very good morning to you and Coach. It's Valen Kirtlead from Newsroom Africa. Congratulations to our two young South Africans. Certainly made a lot of South Africans proud. I'd just like to know, Puso and Mbekezeli, how you guys adapting to life in America at the moment? Obviously very different to the conditions back home, and how are you adapting to the new club?
For me, I'm adapting well in America. The first day I arrived in Chicago, there was snow, so actually it was very cold for me. But then I'm willing to enjoy life in America and do other things.
Puso, did you make a snowman?
No.
Mbekezeli, and yourself, tell us about the arrival at the club and what it's been like for you.
Ngiqale ngiyakubonga mina ukuthi ngicina ngifikile la ngikhona khona. Ngiyathemba ukuthi yonke into izohamba kahle ngoba kade sengifikile nami ngabona yonke into ihamba kahle, bangiphethe kahle nami futhi ngiyathemba ukuthi ngizokwenza sure ukuthi ngibaphatha kahle ngaze ngibaphoqa. Nami ngibona khona nje ukuthi khona qala kanzima ngifika. But angifikelanga eChicago, ngifike ecampini for pre-season. Mathi sengifika khona ngabona umehluko ngoba kuhlukile nala engiqale khona ukufika nala esengikhona khona. Kodwa ngathemba ukuthi yonke into izohamba kahle.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu. Dan, can I ask another question?
Yes, very quickly.
Sure. So, Mbekezeli, I just want to know your review of what happened at AFCON and the lessons you learned from the experience.
Yeah. Udlala AFCON khona kuba nzima. but kodwa ngokuthi-ke nayo siyayithola experience akubukeki kuba nzima kakhulu ngoba futhi edlala nabantu abakhulile nabade bebedlala nathi ukufika khona lelo zinga ukuthi sigcina sidlale nabantu abajwayele ukudlala khona kukhona ukusizile ukuthi kusikhuthaze senze ngale ndlela esenze ngayo akhona ukudliwa kwethu akusho ukuthi kumele siphele amandla kusaningi okumele sikwenze kusamele okumele sikusebenze manje lesiya isifundo sokuthi nangokuzayo shuthi lapho esifase khona kufase kancane shuthi ngokuzayo sesingafasa kufase kakhulu ilokho nje engingakusho.
I don't know if I should come in there.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Please.
So the first answer from Mbekezeli Mbokazi is basically saying that he's happy to be where he is in Chicago, joining the team Chicago Fire. He does mention that when he arrived at the camp for preseason, and then he then later moved to Chicago. He does say that the atmosphere was a bit different from the camp, but he's very excited to be in the team. He's also stating that he won't disappoint the team. He won't disappoint the fans. They are treating him very well at the moment, and he's happy to be here. And the second question about the AFCON, he's essentially saying that he's happy to have gained the experience at AFCON, especially playing with senior experienced players who've played the AFCON for many years before. He's saying that with Bafana being knocked out, they're not gonna stop fighting. As soon as they get another chance to play at a continental stage, they will do better. They promise to do better, and they've learned from their mistakes. And then they'll definitely do better.
Okay, I'm gonna call on next Paul Tenorio. And when you come off mute, please also share your media outlet. Thank you.
Hi, this is Paul Tenorio from The Athletic. I have a question for Mbekezeli. There are two questions. The first is, how you think you can grow from this challenge of coming to Major League Soccer, how you think this move will help you in your development. And the second, I wonder what it's like for you to see so much support from back home, with hundreds of thousands of people following the Fire now from South Africa, just to keep track of their countrymen that are at MLS and what that means for you personally. Thank you.
Yeah. Kona ukula usuka ekhaya nokufika la. Ngizoqala nje ngisho ukubonga nje ukuthi team la ngisuke khona iPirates nginikile ithuba lokuthi ngihambe ngeveza la ngaphandle. Lokho kungijabulisile ukuthi mhlambe khona abangicabana khona okuhle. Mhlambe la kade ngikwenza ethimini akwanelile futhi kwanele kubo ukuthi sebengangidlulisela kwenye team. Lokho kungijabulise kakhulu ukuthi ngiphume ngiyozama kwenye indawo inhlanhla nginikwe ibona ithuba. Khona la ngiphume khona bekudlaleka and futhi bekenjoy ngoba ngasekhaya. Kodwa ngoba umsebenzi akukho singakwenza ukuthi nje siphushe siqhubeke ngale ndlela ade ngenza ngayo. Nami ngiyathembisa ukuthi la ngiphuma khona angeke ngize ngiba disappoint ngoba ngiyilana nalapha futhi engikhona ngiyathembisa ukuthi angeze ngibaphoqa. Lokho abakubonile kuyikho and futhi nami ngisazoqhubeka ngikwenze ngendlela right ngibajabulise.
Well, basically, Mbokazi here is saying that moving from Orlando Pirates to Chicago Fire has shown him a lot of growth as a player. He likes to thank Orlando Pirates for giving him this opportunity and for letting him go, explore his talent in another country and in another environment. He says that he won't disappoint his countrymen, the people who support him back home, and he certainly won't disappoint the Chicago Fire family and the people who support him then, who have welcomed him with warm hands. And he's basically saying that the growth that he has shown, moving from he was more comfortable playing in a local league, but if it is like playing in a foreign country or playing in another league will be a good challenge for him, and he won't disappoint. And he's adding that whatever the Chicago Fire FC saw in him is definitely what he is capable of, and he's willing to do more.
Thank you. I'm now going to call on Nicholas Gleason.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Greg. Good evening, Mbekezeli and Puso from South Africa. My name is Nick Gleason. I'm from AfricanFootball.com. Just for the two players, for both of you, you know, 2 preseason games down, if I'm not mistaken, the season's starting very soon. What are the biggest differences in the style of play between overall the Betway Premiership and what you've experienced from the other teams you've played so far in the States? Thank you.
Ngokwami ngibona umehluko ukuthi ngesibone umehluko efanayo ngoba mina ngikadlale e-league yangapha, ngisadlalela yangapha, kodwa ngiyabona ukuthi lolu ulwazi enginalo for South Africa mhlawumbe nalo linganginceda for ukudlala ngapha, ukuthi angazi ngizothi iyiphi league kanje ngoba asikadlali ngapha and futhi asikabona ukuqina kwayo le league yangapha. Kodwa ngiyabona ukuthi awubi players lindele noma ngabe yini umehluko ngeke uze ube mkhulu, nala khona soshesha ukukhava, ilokho nje enginakho kamanje.
Well, I can't say there's a difference, much difference that I've spotted, because we haven't really officially played an official league match, but we are players, we are professional footballers, and whatever difference there is, we will adapt to it, and we will live up to the expectation that is expected from us. But I can't really say much about the difference now because we haven't really tested it in an official game of football.
Great. We're now going to call on Alex Calabrese.
Thanks, Dan. Hey, guys. Nice to meet you, Mbekezeli and Puso. I have a question for both of you together. What did you know about the Chicago Fire and about Gregg as a coach before you signed? And what are you most excited about when you're going to be playing in this league, which is quite different to what you're used to?
For mina, ukuthi nje Chicago Fire, like ngiyazele ku MLS, and since dala like follow MLS ku Instagram, so bengilokhu ngichecka ama-score, and mina ngiyazi kakhulu ukushaya le team le yakamesi.
Well, I know Chicago Fire. I've been following them, especially on Instagram. I've been checking their score updates. I've been following their games in the MLS, and I know them specifically for beating the team that Messi plays in.
Great. I'm going to go to a written question from Daniel Mothawaje for Coach Gregg. Coach Gregg, how would you respond to those who question the quality of MLS? Some are of the view that Mbekezeli should have gone to European leagues, including South African national team. What is your take on this?
It's a good question. You know, I've had a number of conversations with Hugo, and you know, I think being in the position myself, I completely understand his perspective and point of view. Basically, you know, he wants his players playing at the highest possible level. You know, when I was coach of the national team, you know, we had the same objectives. You know, can our players play at the top clubs? And just like in the United States, I think there's steps for every player. And I think the league, for them to move from the South African league to the Major League Soccer is a step up in quality, and it's going to help them develop. And our goal is to help both of these players adapt, to get used to a higher level, to add to their skill set, and then eventually, move them on. So, for us, our objectives are completely aligned with the South African national team. We want both of these players to reach their highest level possible, and we're going to do everything within our power to help them do that. We have a great connection with the South African national team coaching staff, whether that's the technical staff or the performance staff. We're in continual contact, and we see this as a project that we work on together.
Okay, next, we're going to call on Leonard Solms.
Leonard Solms, ESPN Africa. Mbekezeli, heading into the Africa Cup of Nations, the debate over whether or not this was the right move, the back and forth between your coach and your agent was going on. And yet I think you showed incredible maturity, played so well under pressure. Where does the strength that you're finding to process all of this come from? And Coach Gregg, am I correct in thinking that Fleming Berg gave you a reference for Mbekezeli? And did he have anything to say about Puso?
Yeah, khona kuba nzimani la ngisuka khona ngendlela ade bekhuluma ngayo, kodwa into umuntu angimele ayifunde nomuntu angimele ayazi ukuthi akusuke kube lula uvela usuke uye kwelinye izinga eliphezulu kakhulu kunalelo umele uqale phansi. Into engayisho nje ukuthi ngisemncane futhi ngisakhula, yonke into izokwenzeka ngesikhathi sayo, step by step. Nala ngizofika khona late, mangizogcina ngifikile nje iminyaka isavuma, angeke sizijahe ukuthi sokwenza izinto sifuna ukugqumela le ngenxa ukuthi endlela ababona ngayo abantu. Khona abantu basifisela okuhle, kodwa angeke size sikujahe ukuthi sifike kwenye indawo singaqalanga phansi. Shuthi la ngikhona kwamanje kusayi isikhathi futhi kusi right. Angiboni ukuthi khona inkinga angako ukuthi ngibe la ngikhona, ngoba nami la ngikhona ngiya-enjoy futhi esinye isifundo nokukhula. Manje kuyangithokozisa ukuthi ngiqale la ngizofika khona, ma isikhathi sifikile ngizofika. Ngeke ngize ngijahe ukuthi ngigcina ngifike khona. Kuyilokho nje futhi nokubonga kakhulu leli thuba ukuthi ngilibambe kahle ukuze ngidlulele la abafisa khona abantu nabacabanga khona ukuthi ngigcina ngifikile.
Well, it was very difficult when people were talking back home saying different things, but we persevered because I'm a young player. I'm still very young, so age allows me to explore different things and to explore my talent at a higher level. I enjoy being here. I deserve to be here, and I would like to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to be here. There's everything has its own time. I'm still enjoying my time here as a young player, and if I need to go to a higher league or if I need to go to somewhere else, that will happen on its own time. But for now, I enjoy being here, and I would like to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to be here.
Gregg, would you also like to answer the question?
I think it's no secret that me and Fleming have had a long relationship over the years, and there's times when we'd ask him about a talent in South Africa, and the times when he comes to us. But we watch a lot of games in the South African League, and we're able to understand the talent on the field.
Now we're going to go to Tim Hotze, please.
Hi, Tim Hotze, Red 97. Thanks everyone for the time. So, Gregg, you've touched on this a little bit, but could you speak a little bit more to how you evaluate the personality type? Because you've been trying to build a culture with the Fire, and especially with young players coming in? You know, how can you be confident that the integration is going to go well, and what have you seen so far from them? And then for Puso and Mbekezeli, just, you know, one thing that has surprised you so far about, you know, coming to America, what you've experienced, and one thing you miss from back home in South Africa.
The snow surprised Puso, huh? He saw that snow, it was unbelievable. I asked him, did he touch it? Did he make a snowball? What I'd say is, you know, you never completely know how players are going to adapt, but we do a lot of video calls. We get a lot of background on the players' personalities. We give them personality tests and leadership tests to really help understand how they can fit in this jigsaw puzzle of a team that we're creating. And you know, both the players have done a great job adapting so far. You know, they have completely different personalities, but both of them add something to the group.
Yeah, for me now, the timing figure in Chicago, into Mbekezeli, is snow, because we like the first time like born and no go starter, but then ngizalanga like mangazika like izinto ngizela ngomsebenzi, and ngifuna bangibone ukuthi ngiplayer elidala bebalifuna and ngila ukusebenza kakhulu and ngidevelop isikhathi sami.
Well, what really surprised me when I got to Chicago was the snow. I'm not used to it. It was my first time seeing it or touching it. But I'm not here for those things. I'm not here to be mesmerized or to be shocked up by new things. I'm here to work and to prove myself that I'm the player that Chicago Fire needed, and I'm here to take the team to another level. I'm not here to be mesmerized by the new things that I see here.
Mbekezeli, what's one thing that surprised you in America so far, and what's one thing you missed from South Africa?
Nami ngibangazwe ukubanda kangaka, hayi kuyabanda. Kodwa ngobe seshilo mfo ukuthi akukho lokho okuhlangana nakho ikhona sizola nakho, ngoba sohlangana nezinto eziningi vele oba siyaqala ukubona lokho. Kodwa into okumele senze ukuthi sisebenze, senze ngayo yonke indlela ukuthi i-team lokho esibonele khona kumele kukhuphuke nalokho ade beyikho. Akusho ukuthi oba kufika thina mhlawumbe kushintsha into eyenziwe i-team ukuthi sizoyilekelela la sizoyisiza khona, ilokho njengakusho kamanje.
Well, my experience has been the same as Puso is saying. It's extremely cold here. I was shocked at how cold it is, but obviously we're not here for that. We're here to work, as he alluded that we're here to help the team improve. And there's nothing new that we're really bringing, and people shouldn't expect any changes in the team, but we're here to help the team improve and help the team move forward and be part of the culture of the team. That's all I can say for now.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a time for a couple more questions. I'm going to go to Steve Hahn.
I have a question for both Mbekezeli and Puso, and also Coach Berhalter. So question for the players that I have is, playing in Chicago, how much is the World Cup coming up this summer? How much was that a motivating factor for you guys? And for Coach Berhalter, what I wanted to ask was, Mbekezeli, when you look at his body profile and his style of defending, I get the sense that, having watched him in preseason, he's slightly different from the traditional center backs that we're accustomed to seeing in MLS, I feel like. So what do you think at age 20 for him? What gave you the confidence that he can be a player who can make an immediate impact in MLS? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, watching him play his games with South Africa and for Orlando Pirates, you see that he's able to deal with physicality very well. And you know, when I look at some of the, you know, some very good center backs in this league, when you take a look at Noah Allen or Ralph Puso, who played for Vancouver, they're smaller type center backs, but very agile, very good 1v1 defending, very good timing of their jumping, good speed. And I think this is an interesting profile that hasn't been explored that much in Major League Soccer. And we're happy with his profile. We're happy with his potential to continue to develop. And we think it's going to be he'll be able to play well in MLS.
Thank you.
For mina nje ukuthi sila eChicago sodlalela khona like i-step kwi-career yami ukuthi ngichubeke ngiyenze kahle like ngento engiyifunayo, and for i-World Cup ezayo nje ngizosebenza kakhulu ukuthi nami ngibe khona kwi-23 man squad ukuthi ngizosiza like i-nation like i-country yethu ngiyisiza nami ku-World Cup ukuthi like ithole like iphumelele into ebayifunayo ku-World Cup bafuna succeed, ngibe khona nami ngiyisize.
Being here in Chicago is for me is a great opportunity, and it's a step forward in my career as a footballer. I obviously will work hard where I am here in Chicago. I will work hard so that I can be selected to be part of the 23-man squad that will play for South Africa and help my country and my team win or do well in the World Cup.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Please go, Mbokazi.
Yeah, kona uwalana kuzosiza kakhulu for maso khona nathi ukubizwa ku-national team, ngoba kuningi sokufunda kwabantu abahlukene, ngoba nathi la esikhule khona esidlale khona la sisuka khona sidlale nabantu esijwayele ukudlala nabo isikhathi eside. Ngibona ukuthi na ku-national team uma livele ithuba kosiza and futhi kosilekelela ukubalana nolwazi lala esoluthola oluncane ukuthi kuhlweni kangakanani ukutholana nomuntu kanje nomuntu kanje. Siyazi eMzansi besitholana nabantu aba-strong, nalana sisofunda mhlawumbe khona aba-strong khona abadlala ngendlela zabo. Ngibona ukuthi kosisiza kakhulu nathi ukuthi ngoba sila khona sokufunda and esiya naku-national team manje khona ilokho nje khona kwamanje ukuthi kumele siyibambe and futhi sifunde ukuthi kwenzakalani kuzo zonke izinto.
Being here will give us an opportunity to learn new things. Back home, we're playing with people that we're used to playing with, very strong players, but being here will help us learn about new players and new tactics. And if we do get selected to represent our country back home, we'll use that experience and we'll use whatever we learn here in Chicago and implement it in our national team to help them do well in the World Cup. That's all I can say for now.
Thank you. Good luck.